Next on my list was the multi-storey car park. For this excursion, I was joined by Joel Rees, who was particularly interested in the idea of space and how it's mediated for different purposes during a pandemic. We surveyed each tier of the car park, and gradually, as we ascended, the cars became less frequent. As we arrived at the top open-air tier, we were met with desertion, dull grey fences and the stale scent of pollution. Well, at least it was quiet, I thought. As we walked further, we saw a lamppost situated centrally, but the closer we got, we realised that hugging the lamppost were tyre tracks that somebody had made whilst donutting. I had just been explaining to Joel how shamans, when healing, invent a sacred place for the healing to occur. Could it be that we had found our own sacred place, already defined for us? Needless to say, we had come to an agreement that this space would be perfect. We wondered how this boundary might affect the experience. Would I feel trapped? Was it sacred? There's only one way to find out. So, I sat down with my back against the lamppost and familiarised myself with my surroundings. After a few deep breaths, I slowly closed my eyes. Already I felt calm. No footsteps to distract me, no police officers creeping around me. It didn't take long before I became calm. I began to use a visualization technique used in Kundalini meditations that's said to cleanse your chakras. Each chakra is responsible for a different aspect of the self. For instance, your root chakra is responsible for basic trust, whilst your crown chakra is responsible for your connection to spirituality and wholeness. By successfully visualizing the cleansing of each of the 7 main chakras, one is able to experience true euphoria and bliss. This was a technique I had only successfully done twice before, and in the comfort of my own home. I wondered how successful I might be in a different outdoor environment. After successfully feeling the benefits of the first 3 chakras, I began my mantra, and before long, I had lost all sense of physical presence and existed solely in the vast stream of conscious being. Soon thereafter, I started to see what looked like lifeless autumn branches, softly swaying in the wind. I knew it wouldn't take long for my egoic mind to start interfering, questioning the reality of what I was seeing. Unlike at the monument, the urge to open my eyes was redundant. The quiet stillness of my environment penetrated the ego, rendering me free of unconscious thought. I was curious, but I didn't give life to my concerns by overthinking. This interrogative thought quickly evaporated, and I returned to a peaceful state. I wonder, was this to do with the tyre tracks? Was there something sacred about this space? Did they serve as a shield, defending me from my own anxiety? Or was it merely meditating in a defined perimeter that did it? None of this mattered. All that did was the experience, and it had never felt so real. I then, naturally, started to adjust the ambient volume back to neutral, visualised the space around me, took a few more breaths, and slowly opened my eyes. The dull grey fences were now white with purity. The air around me fell gracefully into my lungs like a feather from a bird. But it was when I stood up that truly resonated with me. As I scanned my surroundings, I noticed that surrounding the car park was a broad circle of trees, green as grass, that I had not even noticed beforehand. What was once a passive and stagnant landscape now appeared lighter and full of life, in lieu of my now rejuvenated awareness. The naked, lifeless trees of my vision served to foreshadow my transcendence beyond the boundary of tyre tracks I had previously been subject to. Surely it couldn't get better than this.